Here's a Reekin Havoc Extra.
Hey, Havoc fans, it is Laura here with Catherine.
Yes, I am here.
And we are actually sitting right now in the Von Braun. There is, looking at the ice, there's nothing going on right now. We finished up tailgate talk with Tim as part of something that they do a thing every week, and he let us come on to be a part of that with the Havoc conversation. So Catherine and I thought we'd take a little break here in the middle of the season and kind of just have a little think back about the podcast and some stuff that we've had come on, things we've enjoyed and different things like that. So we've had a pretty neat set of people that have come on. I talked to Austin Alger earlier in the season, and I really enjoyed that conversation with him, learning about his program that he has for kids in the summer and all that kind of work that they do. I love hearing the stories from the players, and even former players when they share the things that they have done, to kind of give back to their community, even in the off season. So I just always enjoy that.
I love hearing their off the ice stories. I think that makes them more human almost to me. Like, last year, who was it? David Thompson. Last year was my very first season watching hockey. So I didn't really have any expectations, any idea what I was walking into. Obviously, a year later, season ticket holder, every single home game.
Fully in. She's fully vested at this point.
Yes, in a podcast. So, but like David Thompson, hearing his degree in psychology, he's got a mental health organization that I still follow. I have merch from that organization, actually.
I think that's I think that's something that we just, as fans, we don't realize, and and also maybe what's one really cool thing about the podcast is that we're able to go in and kind of get some of these more, deeper stories, right? And find out a little bit more about what the guys do when they're not just hockey players. They have lives outside of it and are giving back and doing some really cool things. And I just appreciate that. I appreciate them sharing those stories with us and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like specifically for me, without the podcast, I would never have known that a lot of players come down here through connections of other players. Like, this is the place to be in the SPHL. This is the standard. This is where guys want to stay. This is where everyone wants to be, and I very much would have never guessed that.
So we're in the middle of the season right now. We're second in the league. At any moment we could be dropping or going up. I think I said today, we were talking to Posa earlier on the tailgate talk, and it's not always you don't have to always be in first. Sometimes being in second or third can kind of give you a little reality check too, give you a little bit of momentum. Well, but there's a lot left of the season to play.
And last year, the team who ended up in first at the end of the season, the one regular season, they got knocked out first round.
Yeah.
Hate that for you, but
hate that for you. However, we're just, it's just been an interesting ride. So for you, with some of the people that we've had on the podcast this season, what are some things that some of your takeaways, some things you didn't realize about some of the players, or some things you've learned?
I think this technically comes from off season, like from before the season started. But Reggie being in the off season, like waking up 5 days a week at sunrise and going, was it lobster fishing, halibut fishing?
Yeah, whatever his family. Yeah, his family. Yeah, his family thing.
I thought that was awesome. Not that it doesn't give off that kind of vibe from him, but it's really cool to hear stuff like that.
Well, when you hear stories like that, then you have a different appreciation for the work ethic that they do on the ice.
Yes,
because you're taking his story for example. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of hard work. And that's a lot of work that, it's not something that everybody can do. And think about the mental toughness and the dedication. And I know there's family involved and it may be a family business, but it's still, that translates so much to when they get back on the ice and the teamwork and stuff.
That shows the work ethic that it's specifically for him with that.
Yeah.
That shows that kind of work ethic that is
that we end up seeing translated.
Right. And not very common, like in careers now.
No, and I've appreciated, I think I've appreciated that, being able to learn some of those stories. So I'm curious, what do you think is going to be the biggest test that we've got coming up? Not necessarily team, but, what's going to be our thing?
Like a challenge?
Our challenge for the rest of the season. What do you think?
I mean it with all the love and all the respect in the world, but the power play statistics have got to change.
Yeah.
Almost when every single time I know at least 2 or 3 times last night, we would end up on the power play and I would just kind of sit back because I was like, the statistic on our power plays this season are not great. Penalty kills are fantastic. The power play, it's almost like, I'm not down on the ice, but it's almost like they're too scared to just full throttle to the net.
Yeah.
Because that's what a lot of teams I see do.
It's full throttle
Straight to the net because they're down a guy. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
But
what do you got to lose?
Yeah. I see the Havoc guys kind of pass it around a lot, and I'm sure they're strategizing, but sometimes you just have to.
And of course, this is 100% from a fan perspective.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I know nothing.
Yeah, we know nothing.
I have zero experience on the ice.
But, you're right. The power play statistics are tough. I think one of the things, too, that's going to be really hard is the strain and the exhaustion. And I've seen this, and not just in Havoc, I've seen this in other teams, too, where you're really strong and you got really good momentum, and then you just get tired. And you're just tired. I mean, we're human. We're bodies we're tired. And so I am always interested in the last push, especially the last month when everything is on the wire and everybody wants to knock everybody out and all of those things that, to see how that's going to play out for us. I was really interested to hear, Coach Stefan say, I asked him a question on Tailgate today about fighting. Like, do you ever have to have a quote come to Jesus meeting, with players to don't go out and fight tonight or don't whatever? And he was talking about, hey, yeah, we have to kind of, he's like, if they're going to do it. But, if we've only got 4 defensemen, if you're a defenseman, might want to rethink, doing it for the betterment of the team. And so I also think that those chirpy moments come down to the end that you can get in your head out there and want to defend or take down, but without thinking about the betterment of what's the long term. How many games am I going to get suspended? What's this going to do in the long run? And I think sometimes certain teams and other players on teams may want to sabotage and push that pressure to cause that fight to see if they can knock out.
Especially if they know that that's going to change the dynamics a lot on a team. Like, when we played Pensacola after the 2 games in Knoxville, it was just with Dom and Reggie not being on the ice. I could definitely, I was talking with, my mom, and it was like, you can definitely feel it a little bit that the 2 players were not there. Like 2 leadership players at that, the captain and an assistant captain.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think one of the things, and I've seen this in other seasons with other players. I mean, I've seen it back when Kaiser and Nikovic and all them were there, it's those critical moments towards the end of the season when you're on the ice and you get a little scrappy that could make or break the next game and who's playing and who your opponent is. And so I'm hoping that maybe they think about it, but then again, I'm not down there on the ice wanting to go to bat for my teammates. So I'm not telling you, Cole, not to go fight everybody, but think twice maybe if we get quite under the wire. You never know.
I love seeing more of him on the ice than fighting or in the penalty box.
Yeah, you mentioned that today when we were chatting. Go into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, last year being my first season watching, I didn't understand hockey. I didn't really understand how anything worked. First of all, he stands out because he's got curls under his helmet, and everyone in the arena was kind of like, Reggie. So I was like, okay, obviously we know this guy. We like this guy.
You said you were just happy to just be able to see him as a player. And I think one of the things you brought out was his performance. He's actually a good skater. He's a really good player. He's really technical. He's not just the guy who throws the gloves.
Yes, because last year was my first year watching, so I didn't really understand. And he was just fighting. And then this year, I really enjoyed seeing like more of him on the ice playing rather than, punching somebody and winning. Obviously, he's very good at what he does, but it was really good to see more of the skills.
One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
Hello, this is Justin Teeter, and you are listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast. Thank you.
You are a Booster Club member, so you decided also, not just because you're a Booster Club member you went, but you went to the Knoxville game and got to ride the bus. And so how was that whole process for anyone who's just curious about joining a Havoc bus ride and going with fans and doing that? What was that like?
Yes. So we went on the bus. We left about 10 a.m., I think, something in that area. We stopped for food. We were they had trivia. They had so many prizes. Reekin Havoc brought some prizes for that. We just had a good time talking about players. The trivia was both Havoc and just like we did a Disney trivia.
That's cool.
Yeah, we got there. We all sat together.
Was it a long bus ride? Is it about 2 hours, I think, maybe?
I think we left at 11, and we stopped for about an hour for lunch, and we got there a couple of minutes before they started warm-ups. It wasn't super long. I think it was longer than 2 hours.
So for someone who's maybe never bit the bullet and paid the fee and done, was it worth the money you put into it, like to go? You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Aside from the inappropriate whatever that was going on, that was not us. That was not Booster Club.
She's referring to, if you recall, everybody on the team just went scrappy and went crazy and stuff. And there was a big old fight in Knoxville, and including the goalies. And I think some of the Knoxville fans got a little chirpy, and maybe some Havoc fans got chirpy, but we were assured that there were none of the people that were really associated with this.
They were not on the bus. They were not. Tanya does a great job with the Booster Club. Yeah. So first of all, shout out to the Booster Club.
Shout out to Tanya. She's like
fantastic.
Has the whip on things. So
I love it. Yeah. They are so good. I hear good things all across the league from our Booster Club. They put in so much effort, so much time. It is incredible the things that they do for the guys. Yeah. But it was a very good game. Obviously, we won by quite a bit.
Well, let me tell you what I really like so much about that game in all the chaos. So the goalies fight for both teams. Our goalie gets, kicked out. And then our new guy that we've just brought on, I mean, he's probably not even had time for his uniform to warm up to his body. And he's like out there playing and plays a good game, seals the deal. We end up winning. And just one of the craziest ways to get acclimated into the pack for the game.
That was his first.
Yeah.
That was his first time playing.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I think that right before or the day before, my kid had said, why are they not putting the other guy in? Why are they not putting the other guy in?
The same thing.
Yeah. And so he got his time. He got in. It was really good. So that was a crazy game. Yeah. So what are you, I guess in closing, what are you hoping for? What do you want to see the rest of the season?
I mean, I guess the ultimate goal is obviously the
cup.
Yes.
We want the cup.
Not the cup. As mentioned earlier, the power play, but everyone knows that already. I think it's talked about a little bit. It seems like they're having fun. I enjoyed that. I like that they're somewhere that you would never guess would be such a big hockey area.
Yeah.
And they're having such a good time because this fan base is unlike anything else. And I've been to away games, so I see it.
And I think for me, I just want to see them complete the process, whatever that looks like. And again, we know that the goal is always to win the cup. And who knows? My favorite, I guess, postseason advice or statement has always been from Tyler Piacentini when he said to me on the podcast one time, well, it's the next season. Second season starts once you get to the playoffs. And so we just got to get to the next season, which is the playoff season, and kind of finish the deal. But I just want to see them keep up the momentum and stay healthy. I think that's the key. It's keeping players healthy, keeping them healthy mentally, keeping them healthy physically, getting to the goal, because you don't want to lose key people at the end and be struggling at
Didn't
the
that
end
happen
of it.
last year?
It has happened. I think it's happened in the past. It happened years ago when Kaiser got hit in the face, and he was out for a bunch after he got his face slashing from the puck that time. And people, anything like that can happen. It throws you off really quickly. But I think I just want to see, as we get to the end of the season, people staying healthy and happy and all that kind of stuff. And we can, round it out with a cup win. That's what we want.
Yes. It's been a very good, very positive season. I feel like,
yeah,
it's been very fun to watch. I like the energy.
Yeah.
If they continue this, it'll be a no-brainer.
Yeah, it will be.
No-brainer.
And we hope that all of you who are out there in listening land are enjoying the podcast, that you're listening to it wherever you can. Feel free to give us a shout out. Share it with your friends. Let us know what you like. Let us know who you don't like. I know that Catherine and I have got a list of players we're trying to track down. I'm trying to get Connor Fries to come on.
They're still hard to track down during the season, I'll tell you.
Hard to track down. And we respect that. We understand.
Yes.
So we're hoping to get Connor, and maybe, who was it, McCabe? Is that who else we're trying to track down? So
that's who
any of the powers that be that hear that out there, we just want to know your stories and get some perspective. But yeah, I guess that's all from me and Catherine. We just wanted to give a little perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hockey fans, stay sharp in the slot. Keep reeking of Huntsville Havoc hockey, and we will talk to you next time.
Become a member of Chaos Kids Club today. Download the Kids Club app for your iOS or Android device, or online at chaoskidsclub.com.
Want to howl with the Havoc this season? Now's your chance from Applebee's Tailgate Talk and the Reekin Havoc podcast. Just go to ReekinHavoc.com and click on Howl with the Havoc to register, and listen to Tailgate Talk on Saturday mornings as we announce the winners of Huntsville Havoc tickets. Howl with the Havoc this season from the Huntsville Havoc, Tailgate Talk, and the Reekin Havoc podcast.
For tickets, official Huntsville Havoc merchandise, and more, go to HuntsvilleHavoc.com. Visit our website at ReekinHavoc.com. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. And listen, follow, and subscribe to the Reekin Havoc podcast on your favorite platform to keep up with the only weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Reekin Havoc podcast.